said that the Jesuit told him that this extraterrestrial race, which would be present on this planetoid, which is approaching us, according to him, are a warrior race. He didn't use this term, he used another one, but the meaning is, it is a warrior race.
Is he talking, did he use the term Anunnaki?
If I remember, yes. There is no doubt. He identified that race with the race which was adored in Mesopotamia thousands of years ago, the Anunnaki, which means those who from heaven came to earth. There is no doubt about this, according to the Jesuit. And this is the reason, maybe, for which this story is dynamite, because not only changes our perspective of humankind in the universe, but also, if it is true, is a threat to us, because of the effects of the passage of this planet, not only because of the presence of this race in the past on this planet and their activities on Earth.
Did he explain how you could have an inhabited planet that is actually spends a lot of its orbit in deep cold of space where no life could ever...
Of course. It's a very intelligent, interesting question. This guy here in the picture, this is a picture which belongs to a US Naval Observatory. It is in the public domain in the US Naval Observatory website. The gentleman on the right is Robert Sutton Harrington, an astronomer who worked by the US Naval Observatory. And on the left there is his former colleague, Christie, who was the author of the discovery of one of the satellites of Pluto, Charon, in 1978.
Robert Sutton Harrington.
Robert Sutton Harrington was an astronomer involved in the search for Planet X. He wrote several articles about the possible existence of this planet in our solar system. And Zecharia Sitchin, who is the author of this book, The End of Days, Armageddon and Prophecies of the Return, in 1990, August 1990, if I remember well, went to Harrington's studio at the US Naval Observatory. They talked about the possible presence of another planet not yet discovered. And Robert Sutton Harrington, in that occasion, discussed the possibility of life on that planet, in spite of its distance, with a very thick atmosphere. He said, yes, it's possible to have life. Now, I can add something else. If this planet exists, and it is the ancient planet adored by the Sumerians and the other civilization in Mesopotamia, it means that this planet came into the solar system as an intruder. So it means that in a very ancient past, this planet was not part of our solar system. And this could explain, explain the strange feature of our solar system. For example, think about planet Uranus, the way he rotates and about the inclination of its axis, about the ecliptic plane, he rotates like this. The astronomers cannot explain why. You have to assume that maybe in the past there was a collision. Now if there was a collision, maybe what there is written in the ancient text, like the 7 tablets of creation, the Enuma Elish, Atrahasis, which are considered by the historians like a mythology, like a set of myth. Maybe As Zechariah Sitchin suggested, he was the first scholar to suggest this, those myths really happened. They are just, the remains of historical records, told us by the word of legend, the word of cosmogony. And Dr. Harrington talked about the possibility of life on that planet. Unfortunately, he died in 1993, but he was a government employee.
And isn't it true that you told us that Zechariah Sitchin has suggested that Harrington died suddenly of questionable circumstances?
I had the lucky to interview Dr. Zechariah Sitchin for the Italian magazine UFO Notiziario in last summer 2006, and in his lines, because it was a written interview, Zechariah Sitchin just underpoint that he became shocked when he discovered, when he found out that the young and vigorous man Harrington was dead. But he didn't make any reference, just a few dots after this statement. He didn't make any implications. He just suggested that he was very surprised that the gentleman that was interviewed by him in August 1990 was dead, because he was a brilliant man, a brilliant scientist. He was 50 years old. He died because of a cancer, according to a biography. But one of the most important points is that, according to the biography, which is available on the U.S. Naval Observatory website, written by one of his colleagues, Dr. Worley, if I remember well his name, according to this biography, written very well, is that at the end of his career, Robert Harrington lost interest in searching for Planet X, in the search for Planet X. But if you pay attention to the articles that Robert Harrington wrote in his career, well, the impression is on the opposite way. One of his last articles is dated 1999, if I am correct, and he was still convinced that Planet X exists somewhere outside our solar system. The difference between Zechariah Sitchin and Harrington hypothesis is that Harrington hypothesis was more concentrated on an orbit which was not cometary. Zechariah Sitchin, according to his studies on ancient texts, is convinced that the Nibiru's orbit is cometary because of the text are an evidence.
Okay, let's get back to the Jesuit information.
I'm sure you are asking me if I know if there is a date, if the Jesuit gave a date, possibly.
Okay.
No date. I mean, most of the information that the Jesuit gave to Barbato are in the public domain now. My website, on his website, on Nexus, New Times magazine, because the interview to the...
What is not in the public domain?
I don't know, I cannot answer to your question. I know a couple of things. First of all, the strange 3 letters on the classification markings that you can see on the introduction to the Jesuit footage, the first 3 letters, SPS, is a mystery, was a mystery years ago, is a mystery now, yet. Barbato doesn't want to talk about this, because it is his choice. Another mystery is about what the Jesuit told Barbato about the nature of the Anunnaki. This is a a sensitive point.